Welcome to Viewing and Reviewing, where I pull older movies off the shelf, watch them, and let you know if I believe they're worth your time to watch or not. I'm Bobby T, your online video store clerk, and I'll be searching through my VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray collection to find titles that I think may be interesting to review. In today's episode, I'll be reviewing 1990's Pastime, directed by Robin Armstrong and starring William Russ, Glenn Plummer, and Noble Willingham. Let me read you the DVD cover. In 1957, baseball is at its peak as America's favorite pastime. Although united in its love of the game, the country is divided on the issue of civil rights. Aging minor leaguer Roy Dean Bream, played by William Russ, knows this, but when the team signs rookie Tyrone Debray, played by Glenn Plummer, a 17-year-old African-American, Bream sees someone with the potential to achieve where he never could. As an unlikely friendship develops across the boundaries of race and age, these two ball players will inspire each other to become more than they ever thought they could be. Well, I will say that the trailer you're watching right now is one of the most accurate trailers I've seen that not only gets everything in the story right, but doesn't give too many spoilers away to ruin the film. I'd been trying to find this incredibly soulful movie on VHS or DVD for 2 decades. I finally found a copy at Goodwill of all places. It wasn't at a Best Buy in the blockbuster sales category, but bought secondhand in a forgotten corner of the store. It's fitting for this story. This is one of those sports movies that will stay with you long after you finish watching. It's a fabulous baseball tale of a rising young star pitcher who nobody sees coming, who crosses paths with the faded star of a never-was pitcher in his twilight season. The low-budget quality of this movie is evident from the start. It feels like a made-for-TV venture. But the strange thing about the muddled lensing and cheap feel only adds to the flavor of this bottom-feeder squad of minor league losers in 1950s Midwest America. You feel the desperation of hanging on to a baseball dream in a dead-end town where young players are beginning their careers and older players are watching theirs fading away into oblivion. Records are set by Hall of Famers revered by millions, but this is a story of a bunch of bushers, as far from the major leagues as you can possibly get. Primarily, it's a story about a regular guy whose career boils down to just being a misspelled name in a major league box score from decades ago. Yet he still dreams of making it back to the show someday. It's a universal feeling of hope and humility. Roy Dean Bream is a broken-down 41-year-old pitcher who's fighting off old man time and is losing the battle no matter how hard he tries. The financially sinking owner of the ball club wants to the awesome Noble Willingham, who's the Roy Dean supporting manager, to cut the dead wood to ease the financial burden. And the young spit and vinegar ball players make fun of Roy Dean at every opportunity to show who really belongs in baseball and who really doesn't. The writing is on the wall. Enter Tyrone Debray, a 17-year-old phenom who has the gas of a major leaguer but has little to no experience in pro baseball. And being black in the 1950s southern United States was none too easy for this soft-spoken, shy, homesick kid with no friends and bigotry still alive and well in his own locker room. Roy Dean, however, doesn't see competition from this young rookie. He sees the potential for this special kid. With the right stuff, Tyrone could be one of the great ones. When Roy Dean takes Tyrone under his wing and teaches him not only how to be a better human, but also his secret pitch, you can see a mutual respect and friendship between these two competitors who always say, us pitchers always got to stick together. It's true sportsmanship and the kind of teammate we could always wish we had when we were young and impressionable. And also the kind of teammate we wished we were when we'd learned some tricks that we could no longer use, but knew a youngster coming up that could go much further with good mentoring. We've all had those Roy Dean guys on our sports teams growing up, the guy who's never really good enough, but always has a smile on his face and gave you everything he had, even when his best was beneath everyone else's worst. Roy Dean isn't concerned with everyone on his team liking him, or even laughing at him in his face. He just keeps trying. He's that rare bright spot, even when he never plays. He may be fooling himself into believing he's better than he is, but he'll never let you know that he's hurting inside. This movie is too slow for the Marvel superhero audience. It's too simple for the complex thinkers who need a mystery to solve. It's too genteel for the sex, drugs, and rock and roll audience. It's just a beautiful, gentle, moving, PG-rated story about a never-was who passes on wisdom, kindness, and respect to someone of a different class, color, and background simply because it's the right thing to do. Now, Pastime had nearly zero budget, no marketing, and just a heart for the game that only the true baller would understand. Crash Davis was talented, and his retirement ended in uplifting style in the classic Bull Durham. That was a comedy, and it's funny, and it remains a very popular movie, for good reason. Pastime is different. It's a baseball tragedy, which some people don't like, and probably explains why it's forgotten when mentioning the best baseball movies of all time. And it's such a shame. This story conveys the sadness and emotional turmoil of watching your playing days end because someone else doesn't think you have it anymore when all you want to do is play. It's cruel, subjective, and powerful. It's also inevitable. Roy Dean's private moment of pitching only for himself is what this movie aspires to. For love of the game. No crowds, no media. It isn't flashy, it isn't proud. It's just perfect. If the end doesn't bring tears to your eyes, you couldn't have felt how passionately some athletes feel about their sports. Once your playing days are over, it's like amputating a part of your heart. So, my overall report card of the film, it looks like this. Does it stand the test of time? Yeah, this film is an A-. As much as I've been praising it, there is a bit of dating in the film, but that's also the charm you'll experience while watching it. We are set in 1957, and it does look and feel the part. That's what nostalgia is supposed to look like. The story, I'll give it a B. I've already given some of the plot points away. It's a baseball story after all, so there isn't anything too heavy. But instead of showing us the wins and losses, we barely see the scores of the games in the film. This is a character study of two different players on drastically different trajectories, and they really made us experience the passion most athletes have while playing their sport. And we especially experience what it's like to hang on a little too long to our dreams. The cast. Actually, the cast is almost exactly the actors you'd expect on a negligible budget. However, I'm going to give this a solid A grade. William Russ as Roy Dean Bream is an A++. A character actor more known for television shows like Quantum Leap, Russ was special as the aging never was. Without him, the film wouldn't have its heart. Glenn Plummer, Noble Willingham, Jeffrey Tambor, and Deirdre O'Connell are also excellent in their roles. The only knock I'd give it would be some of the background actors are a little too cardboard, but the main group in 98% of the film are perfection. Cinematography. This is one film where if you watch the opening 3 minutes, you know exactly what the film is about. Low budget or not, I'll give this an A-. Our settings are supposed to be crappy. These are old-time ballparks in the sticks of minor league baseball, just like this. They don't really exist like this anymore. So the fact that you could get this much authenticity into the film showcased all that was right in baseball fields. If you don't smell the stale hot dogs and unlaundered baseball uniforms, you ain't paying attention. The music. Well, I'll give the music a B+. Nothing memorable, but the opening song set our film perfectly for both pace and atmosphere. The rest of the film had car radios and old-time announcers calling the game just as they would have experienced in 1957, so I'm grading up for the feel of the soundtrack. So, based on the above scores, I'm going to give this film a B+ score overall. As a standard movie, this is just a 7 out of 10. As a movie I would recommend to every ball player and coach in America to watch and learn from, however, this is an 11 out of 10. It may be a baseball tragedy, but it's also one of my favorite sports movies of all time, and I love so many. Pass this film on to aspiring baseball players especially. I hope they feel it in their soul as much as I have. This one truly is a keeper. So, I'm also going to start recommending films as a buy, rent, or pass for Pastime. I'd say this is worth a buy. If you are a die-hard baseball fan, but you're just a casual movie fan, it is definitely worth a rent. So here are a few other films similar to Pastime. Surprise! Since I mentioned it earlier, Bull Durham. It may be everything that Pastime isn't with its budget, comedy, and popularity, but cut to the inside baseball scenes, and these are eerily similar. When an aging catcher is called to a last-gasp minor league team to mentor a young rookie hotshot, it's a memorable ride, and the dialogue is something special, one of the all-time greats. Second is another film that I've reviewed on my channel, Long Gone. This is actually the comedy spirit animal to Pastime. Set in the same baseball era in the same small nothing towns of the Deep South, an aging womanizing pitcher who manages the team puts together a collection of crazies that may just take them to the pennant if they don't screw things up themselves along the way. And 8 Men Out. This is a wonderful film about the 1919 Chicago Black Sox scandal. True story, where the unbeatable Sox throw the World Series for a bunch of mobsters, then have their careers threatened by the new baseball commissioner who's determined to throw them out of the game forever. Seeing Shoeless Joe Jackson and Buck Weaver at the end of the film will give you a basic understanding of the passion Roy Dean Bream has in Pastime. Well, that's it for Pastime. If you enjoyed this review, please click the like button below. If you want to watch more of my future reviews, please click on the subscribe button below. If you want to purchase Pastime on DVD, or if you wish to purchase any of the other titles I've mentioned below, please follow the Amazon links. And if you have any suggestions for movies that you'd like me to review, please leave a comment below and I'll see what I can do. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, be sure to help others in need because it's always the right thing to do. Have a great week.